whatever it is, to the assignment on time, whatever it is, you set the goal and you need to be able to accomplish that goal in a timely manner, right? And that's what basically time management is. And when you think about it, we can put it in a broader perspective. If you're able to manage your time properly, you're able to manage your life properly. Now, the idea of this talk today is that we go from here. I don't have time to whatever. Sorry, I don't have time to do this. I have a lot of things to do. We always come up with excuses just because we don't have time. We want to be able to say, I don't have time, go from here to I choose not to, or I choose to do something. Why? Because we need to understand this concept. We own 100% of our time. And unless we're able to understand this completely, we will not be able to manage our time properly. 100% of our time is ours. It does not belong to anyone else. So the fact that we say, I don't have time, it's a lie, because you do have time. Now, you will be thinking like, it doesn't really apply, because listen, my life is different. Well, I'll tell you why your life is different in a second. But before we start, we're gonna have an activity. Now, if we had more people, we would have had groups, but since we have only 3, we're gonna have this individually, okay? So I'm gonna give you this is not a quiz. We're gonna give the last, the 3 last. Don't flip it until I tell you to do so. And I'm gonna give you a pen. And I'm gonna give you more paper. You guys have a pen or something?
Yes, I have.
I just. You guys found it? You have some too, Gideon? Oh, perfect. That way I don't have to open it. And I'm going to give you. So these are the rules of the game. It's more of a, it's a game. It's an activity. So there is a list of things that I just gave you there. Please don't look at them yet. You have a list of things to do. And all of you have exactly the same things to do. And you're aiming to accomplish all of them, to do all of them. Right? However, it's your decision to do whichever you want to do. Whoever has the more points, that person wins. Now, each activity has a certain amount of points allocated to it. So choose wisely. Now, you have 5 minutes to complete as many as you can. And 5 minutes start now. You gotta keep track of how you're doing. So, what it's not teams that you gotta complete.
Join me with laugh. No, I already did laugh. What is considered a laugh here?
Going from one end to the other one, yeah.
That's a laugh. I don't get it now. Oh my god. I need an extra video.
That's extra video. You need more? Here.
This is good.
More papers.
Please don't say this on YouTube. I don't know sound.
We have 3 minutes and 40 seconds left.
No?
You just have this.
Yes.
Here.
I had another mango bag.
That counts. Now, I know you say you have a not that longer. You want some
I'm already doing my tasks.
You want some?
You're distracting me.
You want to give me some though? Yeah, I'm gonna give you some again.
Is this a part of the lecture?
I'll save you.
Oh, Canada! I don't want to stop.
Oh, sorry. I think I'm gonna give them all of my points now.
Okay, I'm tempted to sing "Oh Canada." I just don't know.
You can Google it. In front of the room. It has to be done in front of the room though.
Oh.
What do you guys want to do?
Let's do a lot together, Zakira.
No, we'll sing "Oh Canada" together.
I don't know the song. Let's do a
I'm
lot
searching
together.
it out.
Let's do a lot together. It's like 2 seconds.
Why would I do another lap? That's...
It's 25 points.
No, it's not.
Yes.
That is 5.
Get another team member.
Yeah, but if you sing "Oh Canada" with me, you get 25 points plus 25 points plus 50 points.
Fine.
Okay. "Oh Canada" song. Oh my God, what is this song? Okay, ready?
In front of the room. 1 minute and 40 seconds left.
I can't find it.
Oh, Canada.
Our home.
And Canada, our homeland.
Like all our songs come back.
Oh, Canada,
So sing "Oh Canada," sing the full song.
25 points.
There's someone.
Oh, you got number 11 and
We got 3 things at once.
18.
Yeah.
Brilliant, Zakira.
What's your
Back on your phone.
That's 4.
Why is it bad?
Can I get your phone? Do you need it? After the exercise? Okay. Okay. Gosh! How much time do we have left? Sorry.
Time's up. Okay, tally the points that you have and do not let the other person see it. Just tally.
Let's make it happen.
That's origami. Is it gonna fall? No, it's not gonna fall.
Which 3 things did we get at once?
I can't tell you.
When it
Is
was
that your favorite song, Zakira?
you cannot add more points now, like what you did in the past.
Oh, number 4. Sorry. You did number 4.
You got your points, Gideon? 125?
25.
Oh, I was like 125. Okay.
Oh, I lost track.
Sorry. How'd you go with this?
We'll have it. M&M's now.
Are we trying to distract us?
Once you're done counting, I'll let you know.
So, I don't think.
The ones that you know you did, and you did it properly.
The singing was proper. You never said anything on the screen.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I didn't know how to be that specific. Right? Okay. I'll grant you that.
What is this? You didn't find this out. You already knew this.
That's why it's called time management. 5, 10, 15, 20, 22, 2, 2, 4, 6, 82.
82. Okay, so we go. Zakira, how many points you got?
110.
110. Cerise. 82. Gideon. 25. 25. Now. So here's what this is my whole point. You guys were keeping it exactly the same amount of time and exactly the same number. You could have been an organized person and go from the top to the bottom. But then, listen, being organized sometimes doesn't really help. It's not the only thing that you need. You need to be able to assess the whole thing, your whole task, and choose what needs to go first and what needs to go last. And I think that's perhaps something that you did. Perhaps all of you guys did the first thing, like, oh, do a lap, let me just do it. And everyone started doing that, because it's the first thing that you see. But if you look at it, you need to take time to plan and see what needs to be done first. Now, we have excuses a lot of the time, but listen, Zakira, you are the winner. I don't have a prize, but you're the winner. Okay, so with that, that's just an icebreaker. And
The M&M's.
now, I was trying to distract you.
That was so obvious.
That was trying to distract you,
So
right?
obvious.
I'm actually glad you're the only one who caught it. I was trying to be nice and offer things. And
Right, why would you do that when something is like, we said what you do afterwards, right? Why is this M&M's? Give me some though.
But it's a good thing. You know, I'm actually happy to see that the game is like everybody distractions. That's a good thing. You're able to make it by distractions.
What was I going to eat there?
Yeah, I was like, okay, you're not gonna eat, and of course, why am I even doing this? Right? Should have brought, I don't know, like some veggie things and tried this probably later. But anyways, so that's overall what time management is all about, right? Now, let's move on into whether you're a rich person or a poor person in terms of time. Do you consider yourself a rich person in time or a poor person in time? Now, you're the only one who's going to answer that question, and I will give you the characteristics. Now, if you're the type of person who lives in the past, constantly, how? You're constantly working on overdue tasks. You are lost, right? And you feel a lot of regret. Like, I should have done this before, how come I haven't done it, right? So you're constantly living in the past. And the fact that you're laughing perhaps just gives it away, right? And you struggle in the present. Why? Because you're still living in the past. Things that should have been done before. So you don't really get to enjoy the present. So in the present, what's happening? You're pessimistic. You're like, I'm not going to be able to achieve this. I don't have time for this. You so start coming up with excuses. You can't find time to start or complete something new. Little or not self-care. Stress all the time. And the future, don't even think about it. Like, you're hardly managing time today for things that you didn't do yesterday. How are you going to have time to plan for things for tomorrow? Now, you will find 1,001 excuses not to think about the future. Everything gets worse. You feel helpless. You compare yourself with others, other person's success, and you feel bad about it. If another person is doing it, how come I'm not doing it? And you start beating yourself up. Now, if you have like at least two or three of these characteristics, perhaps you're a person who are in time. Now, are you a rich person in time? Who is a rich person? A person who stays on top of their game. Regular planning, limit distractions. Well done, Cherise. Live and enjoy the present. Can effectively complete tasks, allocate time for self-care, have fun without regret. And that's very important. Being able to manage your time properly means that you're able to accomplish your goals in a defined amount of time, but also you're able to have fun. And sometimes distractions are good. And if you allow for some distractions in the perfect timing to happen, then that's you can still be a rich person, a rich person in time. Now, the future has clear goals. Know where you're heading. There is a plan for tomorrow, but there's also a plan B in case plan A doesn't work. And since you're a person who likes to plan and you're ready and you're thinking about the future, you're able to face roadblocks with hope and a plan. Now, you can raise your hand if you're willing to do so, but which one are you? Rich or poor? Don't, right? So I personally have been facing both of them constantly in my life. The idea is that we go from poor to rich. And the fact that you're facing a poor life in time doesn't mean that you need to stay that way. Right? We can make changes, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
So, we start building a foundation. I feel like I should have been in your seat at this specific point. I feel like I'm the one in need of this presentation. But anyway, let's build the foundation. So, foundation is going to be so simple. 5, 6, 7. Purpose. Purpose is it's a noun, it's a verb, right? It's the what and the why. It's the goal and it's the motive. In other words, like you can purpose can be a reason, right? I'm doing this because of this purpose, and then purpose can be the action. I purpose to do this, right? So let's see. We're going to state what is my purpose? Why is this my purpose? And that's usually the most important. And then lastly, where am I? So purpose, that's the first one. The reason for which something is done or fitted for. And I wanted to, put this across. Many will never attain superior rank in class because of their unfixedness of purpose and the laxness of habits contracted in their youth. In other words, certain things we don't get to just because we don't purpose. So we're going to look at this generally, right? Imagine like your whole life. What's your purpose in life? What are your desired outcomes in life? What should you aspire to achieve in a specific period of time? In 5 years, in 10 years, in 30 years? What's your role? What do you intend to do? What are your goals? Where do people see you? Some people inspire us. Where do you see yourself in the future? So this theme of purpose can be applied to so many other different things. Like everything you should do actually should start with a purpose, right? So once you nail down that, in 10 years I want to have this, I want to have this and this, and I don't know, whatever it is, then you ask yourself, why? Why do I want to have this house in 10 years? Why do I want to have this in 10 years? Why do I want to, help poor people in 10 years? Why? Why? You ask yourself that question because when you go through the hardships and you go through the failures, you come back to this why. This is your foundation. This is your source of strength, right? And so now, once you write down all these things, like you see all of these 18 things, you kind of ask yourself why are you doing this. Like you see, actually, this is a perfect example. Some of us were not just thinking through, we didn't purpose it, but if you have 25 points, you're doing it because it has a lot of points. You have a good why. It's a good foundation that you're going to stand on, and then you're going to focus on that. Now, right now we have academics now. We have exams. So now let's narrow it down. Why did we come to school? Okay. What do we want to achieve in semester? Right? We all have our courses, so what grades do we want to achieve? In these 2 weeks, what really do we want to do? We are students, that's our role. What do we intend to do? What do we aim to achieve, right? What are our goals? So you can write down your courses and say, this course I want to get this course I want to get this. What does it mean for you to be excellent? So yeah, you can, keep that at the back of your mind. Then the question is why, right? I need to get this grade because I know it's going to help me, in my long-term career. It's going to help me achieve the 10-year long plan I have set, I have this academic goal, I now have these courses, and I know that by passing these courses is going to help me, right, in the long run. So you ask yourself that why, right? And make sure that that why is strong enough. Now, in these few weeks, we're going to have to focus on that. We're going to have to pull out all the other things and make sure this is our primary goal. Once we have our solid why, that's going to be our foundation, right? So we're going to focus. That's going to be our priority, right? So since you have a strong why, which is the purpose, it is now time to purpose. Okay, the verb. It's now time to purpose. It's time to make some plan. It's time to make some resolution. It's time to be determined, right? You want to get this grades. It's time to set out to do something. It's time to aim, time to be hopeful, time to design your outcome, time to set your object before your eyes, time to mean what you do. Purpose. So, a resolute purpose sanctified by the grace of Christ, sanctified by, Allah, will do wonders, right? It's your intention, it's your objective. Now listen to this. The youth should decide the aim and purpose of their life and set their standard high. If they have a low standard, they will not rise above that at which they aim. That's the thing about most people. First of all, I have to make sure we are not competing with anyone, right? It's you supposed to examine yourself and see what is your excellent self. What's the best state that you can be at? And you ask yourself the why, the purpose. Now you set your standard higher. Then once you have a solid why, you realize that this why is really worth it. Then you purpose. You go for it. And don't fear, it's really your own standard. So, what is my purpose? Why is this my purpose? And the last thing is, where am I? Where am I? Okay, I need to get this grade, but where am I? I will study. I need to go through all my coursework. I need to practice. Yikes, where am I? And once you understand where you are, where you want to go, next thing is how do we get there?
Now, here comes, we have gone through the what, the why, now comes the how. Here's the practical part. Now, exactly, and I'm glad we're able to catch that. Remember to plan, execute, evaluate, and eliminate. And if this is too much to remember to P. Okay? Now, I'm sure you're never going to forget this because there's something funny inside of it. And we need to try to keep our lives that same way. If we're going to forget about something that we know is important, let's try to add something to it that will help us remember. Now, let's talk about the first thing, which is planning. To plan. So, when you start planning, you need to set a goal. What is your objective? Where do you want to get? You need to have that clear. If that's not clear, then you're not going to be able to plan properly. Second thing is allocate time for planning. I personally struggle way too much without planning. I need to get this done, and then I just start working without planning. 2 weeks later, did I get anything done? No. When I should have gotten it done, but in 3 days. So planning is important, but you need to allocate time for planning. Remember, planning is not doing things. Planning is not executing. Planning takes time, and alone it's necessary. And you need to prioritize. And here's when we come and talk about the Eisenhower method. So urgency is increasing, going from left to right. It's increasing urgency, and then importance go from bottom to top. When something is very urgent and very important, you gotta do it immediately. Don't wait for it. Don't wait for anything else to happen. Do it immediately or as soon as possible. Now, if it's urgent, if it's important but not so urgent, you can schedule it. Say, okay, sure, this needs to be done. It doesn't have to happen now, but I can have it done tomorrow or the day after. Now, if it's urgent but it's not important, you can delegate. I don't have time to do it today, but I can actually ask somebody else to help me out. Now, if it's not urgent and it's not important, delete it. I'm trying to identify something else that can actually go here, here, or here. But if it's not important, it's perhaps not worth your time. And what is not important in school is your own decision. Every single one of us have different weaknesses. What is not important? For me, it is not important to watch TV for 2 hours. I can actually eliminate it. Do I like to watch TV? Yes, I do, because it helps me recover. It's a way for me to rest. But do I need to spend 2 hours? No, so I need to start eliminating. But I need to start planning. So think of those important things that you need to do and start filtering things out. While you plan, filter things out. What must be done? That needs to be done immediately. That needs to happen as soon as possible. I have a midterm tomorrow. I have a report that's due tomorrow. I need to get it done today or the latest before the deadline. What needs to be done are things that you can actually say, hey, this has to be done, that this needs to be done, but it doesn't have to happen today. I can actually do it tomorrow. So I can actually allocate and make plans for it tomorrow. What should be done are things that you say, it will be nice if I'm able to go to the gym, but it doesn't have to happen. Or it will be nice if I'm able to sleep 8 hours, but I'm okay with 6. Okay? What is okay to omit? Well, I was planning to go out with my friends today, but I have a midterm tomorrow, so it's okay for me to omit going out with my friends. I was supposed to get a phone call to have an interview today, but listen, I have a midterm tomorrow. Which one am I supposed to omit? Probably none of those. You can probably allocate it somewhere else and try to find time for it. Now, remember this, because this is going to help you answer a lot of questions. You have a task that's going to help you get to your goal. Is it urgent? Is it important? Ask yourself those 2 questions. And that's going to help you answer whether you should do it immediately, or you can do it later, or you can eliminate it. Plan. You need to be aware of the following: of pleasure, rest, and self-care. If you're not a healthy person, you're not going to be able to enjoy your life and have proper time management. And listen, you roughly, let's say, average student sleeps about 6 to 5 hours. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time that really goes to waste. We're going to call it waste for now because you don't really do anything. But those 5 hours or 6 hours, which ideally should be 8, they need to happen. So you need to make time for yourself. Make time to sleep, make time to eat, make time to cook, make time to eat with your friends, with your family, whatever it is that helps you recover, make time for that. Now, I'm saying make time because you're not going to find time. Because you have a lot of other stuff that are important, but you need to make it happen. Now, once you have prioritized the task and the list, you need to start writing things down. This is very important. I am old school. I like to have a piece of paper and a pen. You guys can use your iPad, your computer, Excel, PowerPoint, whatever works for you, but write it down. Write it down because if you just think about it, it's going to go away. When you write it down, it's going to stay. And you can have rough copies, different versions of your plan, and then have a final version that looks nice. If it looks nice, you feel attracted to it, and then you're able to do it. If it looks bad, you're just going to forget about it. And assign dates and times, if possible, to this to your task. Try to schedule it. And use different tools. Google calendars, phone reminders, sticky notes, whatever works for you. Here's an activity. And the 3 of you actually, I'm going to let you guys YouTube video. No. So I want you guys to close your eyes. I promise I'm not going to steal anything.
if you put M&M's in my.
So, no, don't look. There's something in front of you, but we won't get it yet.
I'm not looking
I will as soon as I'm done here. Okay. Now, you may open your eyes, but look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I put something on the table, and I'll give you some M&Ms now, so you can actually pay attention. So, I put something on the table for you, and you're supposed to do the following. Hello. Hello. It's going good. You guys want to join? There's food. It's all right.
Exactly is the event.
Time management. Yeah.
We need advice on that.
Definitely. Can you guys stick around for like 10, 15 minutes? Just grab whatever you want. Yeah, grab whatever you want. There are next week is
So
a
what?
few.
Wait, are we staying? No, don't feed us, that's so rude.
It's totally fine.
I can't go.
We haven't eaten yet. We're gonna eat later, so.
That's even worse. Yeah,
It's fine.
I appreciate the offer.
Go ahead later.
I don't want to just stay.
Bye, Nigel.
All right, so I put some things on the table for you. Now you're able to touch them, you're able to look at them, to flip them, whatever you want. Now I'm gonna give you 4 minutes. Do not open them though. You cannot open anything. You have 4 minutes to observe the items that you have on your desk. And you need to think how you're gonna make them fit in the dollar. Now, you cannot try anything right now. You just plan it, write it down. Okay? Now, so you have 4 minutes starting now. No, you cannot open anything. You need to think what goes first. I'm going to give you 3 minutes actually, or it's quite a lot. If you want to write it down, write it down. What needs to go first, what goes second, what goes last. Think about it because everything needs to fit in there. No, so you put everything as it is. You don't need to open anything. You just need to open the back and put everything else as it is. Yeah, the sticky notes, they go exactly as they are. You will take it. You will take them with you at the end. So I filled the doors up with exact same items before, and then I pulled the items out. So it's guaranteed that's going to fit. But they are exactly the same for the jar.
Okay.
So I fill out every single individual jar, pull the things out, and put it in the bag.
Are we supposed to be able to close it?
Yes, you're supposed to like open it, put everything in there, and properly close the lid without forcing it. Okay. So does everyone have a plan so far? Almost? Okay, another minute then. Well, there's 1 minute and a half left. Where is it there? Done? Perfect. No? Okay, it's fine. Take your time. We have allocated 3 minutes for planning, so let's make use of the time for planning.
How many attempts, like how much time do we have to do it?
Now, after I'm done, after we're done planning, we're gonna move on to the next part, which is execute. I'm gonna have a talk, and after the talk, you guys will execute the plan. Okay. How much time? I'll let you know once we get to that point. We have 10 seconds left.
I just run.
We have, and 5 is up. Okay, now time was allocated for planning, and that's what we need to do. We decide to plan, we know our goal. Our goal in this case is to fill that our app with those items, and we allocate time to plan. Right? Now, the execution part, trust me, if you get planning, planning is hard. But between planning and executing, planning is the easy part. Executing is the most difficult thing that you can perhaps do. Why? Because you need to stick to the plan. The plan is not flexible. If the plan is flexible, you're not going to achieve your goal. As simple as that. And the thing is, your plan is flexible when you start coming up with excuses. Oh no, but you know what? Like if I'm able to do this here and put that there, I will be able to achieve it. But then you're deviating from your plan. You're not sticking to it. And then something else comes up, a distraction happens. And you need to be able to think, what is my priority and what have I planned? And I should stick to it so I can accomplish what I have set my eyes to. Now, no excuses, no distractions. What are distractions that we have? Talking on the phone, friends. We have a lot of distractions, and our distractions are different from person to person. Now, be excellent and fast. When you perform a task, use your best. Why? Because you're not just doing a task just to get it out of the way. That task is helping you get to that goal that you have set during the planning portion. Too hard or it takes too long to do something, seek help. Allocate time to look for help sometimes. This assignment is too difficult and it's due tomorrow. Well, I need to find time to ask someone else to help me out, but allocate time for it. Plan it. You need to plan it. If it's not in the plan, do not do it. If it's in the plan, do it. But be aware, roadblocks will occur. Plan for them. I wasn't planning for this to happen. I wasn't planning to get a job offer, but I need to make time for it. I wasn't planning to get sick, but what is my plan B? What is my plan B that will help me get this done? Too hard or it takes long, seek help. Remember that. Now, that's the execution part. Now, I'm going to give you guys exactly 5 minutes to stick to the plan. If it doesn't work, leave it. Okay? We'll try to fill the jar later.
I have to go according to my plan.
According to the plan.
I just supposed to fill down.
You need to go according to the plan. And there's a specific reason for it. I'm not going to say anything else. You have 5 minutes as soon as you open the jars on the back. 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. Please don't hide the rocks.
This was the right kind of plan.
You're not planning, you didn't plan for it, but it happened.
Oh no, I didn't actually write that on the plan.
It doesn't have to be tied. If you have to force it to close it, it's not properly done.
It's interesting how we think.
And each one of you guys think differently, see?
I know, right?
There are 3 minutes left.
Yo, by the way, he's looking at those. Yeah, it's
It's like,
very.
really?
Wow, I could fit something else here. Do you have more? Do you have more? She's so comfortable. Wow.
And that's in less than 5 minutes. Excellent. Well done, everyone. Now, the true question is, do you stick to the plan?
A half ball, the sticky notes, the half ball, the stone, the 2 balls, and then a sandwich. You sprinkle a little like thing around the sandwich, and then you just put it in.
Now, let's have a look briefly at how you decided first. Literally sandwich. Literally sandwich, and it works. Now, let's have a look at it here. You put the balls together. They have styrofoam balls you can put together and still fit, right?
Like a popcorn.
Boards is like a Pac-Man.
Yeah, Pac-Man.
Right? And it still works. They're real good at the bottom. They're not. They're real
Am I
good
the
at
only
the
one
bottom.
who did at the top?
Now, here's what we want you guys to see. Were you guys able to achieve results? Does it have to be the exact same way for everyone? Not necessarily. Now, I'm going to use this one as an example.
I think that one is a bit. I'm jealous.
All of you guys are able to achieve things correctly in a timely manner. Now, we need to keep in mind the following. What would have happened if you put all the rocks at the beginning? There's no room. The little things, they fill out the gaps. What are those little things that you guys can do? Talk to your friends. And now, read, listen to music. What are those little things that you want to do that are not as important? What are the important things here? The bigger things, the things that take most of the space, most of the time. What are those things? Mathematics, assignments, midterms. Those are the things that we need to think about doing first, so we can have more space. And the little things go in the gaps. The gaps that we have, the little things fill in the space. How about things like the road? Things that are flexible. Things that they take space, they take time, but they can go into the little spaces too. And it's okay if you do them part today, part tomorrow, and part the day after. Those are the roles. So this is just a great example to show you guys that we're able to, with the same amount of resources, with the same amount of time, we're able to accomplish our goals when we stick to the plan. Now, I'm glad that everyone's plan worked. For some people, it wouldn't have worked. And then we have to go into the next part.
Okay, so then the next part. How did you do? You have to evaluate yourself. How did you do? And now this is going to be, like this weeks as you're preparing for exams, you're going to have like an assessment, an evaluation. Every day you ask yourself, how, where am I going? How far am I? How am I doing? Am I doing a good thing? So it's good to have these evaluations every day. Ask yourself these forwards. What was my purpose, and to achieve this grade at this point? What worked? Today I studied, I was able to study this much. What did I attended those time here and there and all that, I was able to do that. So what's my new purpose? I'm still stuck to the same thing. I have this assignment, I have this grade to achieve, I have this, amount of work to read. So I'm evaluating, I set the words, I go to the whys. Remember, the whys usually tend to be the foundation, tend to be the motivation, right? So remember the why of your purpose. I need to get this grade because of this and this and this. I know it's important because of this and this. What works? I was able to study this much because, as I had no distractions, I stuck to the plan, I did all those good things. What didn't work? Well, I lost time here, because, I got distracted, something like that. Why? What? And you have to be ready to face that. That's a real thing. This evaluation part is usually the most missed part because you kind of have to face your real self and you kind of have to put yourself in the spot. You have to assess yourself. Just like it's never nice to receive your results, like, your grades or something. So that assessment is always like scary. You always talk about the judgment is scary, but ideally it shouldn't be scary. When you do it every day, you have to really just face yourself and know it's for your own good. Then you set your purpose again. Okay, yeah, I did this, I did well, I did this all. Now this is my purpose, and I know why this is my purpose. I put purpose. I always say state your purpose and then repurpose again, because sometimes purposes change. Sometimes, your objective yesterday might not be the same objective you have today, right? So sometimes things change. So you have to kind of go through that grind of making setting your purpose. And sometimes, like we said, this is time management. This is really life management. So I know I'm using examples of like grades and all that, but this really applies to all aspects of life. So, it can be your health, it can be your friendships, it can be anything, your finances, it's really about you living life to the best, excellence, right? So your purpose tends to change. Sometimes you come up with new purposes, and so it's very important to remember that. So the hows are very simple. You have to write. Now, the reason why you write, okay, you can diet, you can do it, but the thing is, it has to be documented, or it has to be somewhere kept where you can go back and face your previous self, right? So if you have your plan and you're able to note down that this plan worked, right? This plan didn't work. You're able to note down that from like 1 to 3 p.m. I lost time because of doing this and that. If you have things documented, it's much easier to kind of face them. Sometimes you can remember things, right? But sometimes you may not remember, what was your purpose like on Monday or last year or something. So that's why writing is important. The other good trick about how you can do evaluation is usually when you talk to friends. When you're sharing with friends, sometimes it's easier to open up and to as you're speaking, you hear this and you kind of evaluate and like, maybe I didn't do a good thing. I didn't, maybe I didn't.
Okay, yes.
Maybe I wasted time. As you're talking to your friend, maybe I should have done this, right? So sometimes talking to your friends is actually a good way to evaluate. So let's talk about things that you shouldn't forget in evaluation. The thing is, this is usually a tough thing, and I probably also struggle. I haven't done enough evaluation in my life, but I know it's very important, and if you do it regularly, it's really important. Like it helps you to achieve your excellence. It's really you comparing yourself with your purpose, where you want to go and where you are now, right? And so it helps you to become better. So don't forget that when you know this thing worked, you are able to go to the gym today. Enjoy! It's some good food today. Rejoice! You studied your books. Yay! Rejoice. How's that joy? That's the real joy. Make sure you rejoice, right? Because that's the achievement. Now, when you first when you first what didn't work, right? You time, you didn't perform well here, you missed the gym. You kind of have to be honest with yourself. Understand that it's not right. It's not really getting you where you want to be, right? But you gotta have hope, right? You got to have hope. Then, as you repurpose, you kind of have to have faith, because certain times as you're evaluating yourself, you fail these things. Like every time you've tried, you just give up. Like you tried time management, you're like, it just doesn't work for me. Like it just doesn't work for me. That's where faith comes in. Right? You kind of have to have faith. Faith is keeps you going even when everything else fails. And sometimes you go through, you wanted to achieve this, but you're far from achieving that, right? That's where faith comes in. As you read about us, only thing you can hold on to is now faith. You got to believe that by some magic, at least by above us, you can get there. At least he can do it if you can't do it, right?
Sorry, I don't want to disrupt the question. So you mean to tell me I shouldn't have done this? This is what you're saying. You're very something to believe.
What do you say?
Oh, I didn't tell you. I don't know.
You're my point. You repurposed.
It still have faith. So maybe I still have faith.
But
I'm still
once you have faith, you can repurpose. Like,
Yeah.
this doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna repurpose and have faith on the next plan.
Okay. So I should have done that. Just
So-
to get some reaction.
Yeah. So tricks or seek advice or themselves, right? It's very important. Actually, I like that last part that says with good advice make war. It doesn't make sense to make war, to go and make a war with a faulty plan, right? It's sometimes better you get advice before you actually go to war, right? So make sure you get consultation. Like we're here to help each other, we're here to consult, but even more is always welcome. With many counselors, plan to establish. Get good friends, right? Oil and perfume make the heart glad. Like when you smell something good, that's how it feels when your friend tells you something good, and they counsel you and they give you something that is valuable, right? Get good friends. And as we shared, it's easier sometimes to evaluate with your friends. And you have to schedule time for evaluation, right? You may have to schedule time for planning, you have to schedule time for evaluation. Very, very important. There's this proverb that says, ponder the path of your feet and let all your ways be established. Right? You don't want to take steps that are, yeah, right? You don't want to take steps that are shaky, right?
Yeah.
You're just like, why did I do this? So evaluate. It's best done like daily or weekly. Evaluation is best done daily or weekly, and sometimes with a friend, sometimes without a friend. And I just put this there to kind of let you know that you will have obstacles and difficulties to encounter at every time, right? And you must, with firm purpose, decide to conquer them or conquer it. So, things will get tough, but just stick to the purpose. And the last thing is just eliminate and become better. Eliminate or edify. And the illustration is simple. You see that beautiful garden? It always grows weeds. Like, you see it's so beautiful here, but it always grows weeds. Always grows weeds. And every time someone has to pull them out, someone is employed to just pull out weeds. Every time. And that's what makes it beautiful, right? So after you evaluate, you see the weeds. They always keep on growing. And you pull them out. So you go revisit your plan. What needs to be changed on your plan? So you ask yourself, how can I be more efficient? How can I be more excellent? How can I become better at what I do? Right? What has to go? What's that question? What has to go out of my life? What's that weed that has to be uprooted? Sometimes momentarily, sometimes forever. Some practices, some habits have to go. And then what has to stay and how can I improve it? That's the time to change. These last two are, sometimes when you go through the planning and the execution, it's kind of hard to do the evaluation and the elimination and the edifying. These last two are sometimes forgotten, but once you have them, it's much easier. And after you're done with changing, you go back to the plan. And you become excellent. So, as a conclusion, we're just going to spend some time to actually put this into practice. Maybe you can think about like the weeks we have, right? exams and all that. So just sit down and like write where you are, where you want to be, and then yeah, that's it. Just use this time to like make sure things don't evaporate.
Now, this is more like an individual thing because every person is going to have different things. You will not be able to do all of them. You can only do today this plan. And
So
as you
only the
look
plan
here,
section.
only the plan section, yeah. And you can execute it.
That's it. Sorry.
But you can definitely take this home and
I don't know where I am.
reconsider this in the future.